Hello.
Hello.
Pretty good. It's going. Yeah. You answered question number one for me. I was confused by that a little bit. I was like, all right, well, I'll eat it, whatever it is. He'll explain it.
Mm-hmm.
And you did.
Yep. Uh,
And you answered question two with it. Is that probably going to answer question two real fast, which is that character's probably coming back soon. Which I was like, yeah, that's going to happen eventually.
yeah. Yeah. That was a foreshadow. That was a the infamous foreshadow.
Yeah, yeah, which answers question three.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to make that's probably going to be the primary group, just because
Cool.
I'm going to beat something into the ground like I normally do. You know me. I got to beat a joke into the ground every so often. I mean, it's not technically a joke, but I'm still beating it.
Yeah.
Just because.
And I will point out a certain bad guy from the universe I mentioned is still alive, even though she got fucked pretty hard,
Mm-hmm.
or by another character, by the anti villain.
Mm-hmm.
So you could always make that character her or somebody that works for her if that character gets defeated early on.
Oh no. Though I already know what I'm doing with that character. That's
All
why.
right, now those I'm just throwing
Oh, I know.
spaghetti at the wall.
Oh, I know. I know. It's just it's gonna be defeat all. Why does it have to be able to defeat all? Crap. Oh wow. Ow.
Yeah, and we still have to get into the one-on-one thing you proposed, which was my character and the after effects on her.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you whether you want to do that tonight or tomorrow or
It would
whenever.
be better if I did it tomorrow.
All right, that's fine. All right, yeah, if I'm off on a game, just DM me. I'll get off of it. But currently, right now, I'm burning through fucking Stargate episodes, so I shouldn't be playing anything.
Uh,
Yeah, but I finally found the alleged Star Trek episode I had been looking for all this time. It was a fucking SG-1 episode. I'm like, how did that end up becoming a Star Trek episode?
you
So,
know.
well, it's the um yeah, it's the episode where Daniel goes into the alternate reality, Liddy, where Earth is already under attack by the Goa'uld,
Mm-hmm.
and they fucking nuke Teal'c's homeworld. I had somehow in my my aged memory, because I had somehow seen this episode once before, Lord knows when misinterpreted that as a Star Trek episode where alternate fucking Picard was talking to alternate fucking Worf, and I was like, I don't remember a TNG episode like that. And I was like, of course I don't, because it's SG-1.
Yeah.
And I think that's because fucking Stargate has so many TOS properties to it and TOS and TNG properties to it that it must have melded with another episode in my mind
Mm-hmm.
over the years. Uh, I was a pretty big Stargate fan and back in the day, so it wouldn't surprise me if I had seen that episode a few times of just like,
Yep, yep, yep. What am I doing here? Hold on. You are not just a member, you idiot.
oh.
You are the leader, you dumbass. Leader. 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 Okay. I'm doing 3 things at once here, so pardon my... Because I'm trying to get the edits in for... the game as well. As I'm playing and as I'm streaming. And hi, Sean, how's it going, sir? I saw some of your posts today. Yeah, glad I can entertain you. So yeah, I'm doing like 3 things at once here. So if I'm not moving very fast on the game, why not do fast on the game? More characters there I gotta deal with. Okay.
Yeah. I am in the second season where already in the second season they've had a random fucking journalist MIB'd in the middle of the damn street. They've had the PMCs seized with the gate that they've had the fucking will shut. So I forgot about the episode where the journalist gets fucking MIB.
Yeah.
I can't say he got Clinton because it was fucking broad daylight.
Yeah.
And everyone saw it. If he got Clinton, it would be a little different. He got MIB.
Yep.
Dead in broad daylight.
Alright. Go up here. Oh, but I'm hearing my thingy going off.
That's one of the reasons I like Section 21 as the antagonist.
30,
They fucking MIB people.
31, you mean?
They
31.
don't care.
Section 31. You
Yeah,
mean?
Section 31. Fucking MIB people.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Often.
Yep. Yep. Interesting.
And then they were just made this. Ugh, I don't want to talk about it. What they became in Discovery.
No, thank you.
Huh?
Just the words discovery should just solve that.
Yeah, it's just like. Ugh. And Picard is made, and Picard was somehow worse. One of my friends let me borrow their CBS login so I could watch it. He's like, dude, you need to watch how bad this is.
It's bad.
Oh yeah, it's horrible. The character assassination they do to 7 and 9 alone makes me want to strangle every single one of the writers of that show. Like I genuinely feel sorry for Jerry Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's a nice lady, and she played a really good character who had a lot of character development. They're like, fuck character development.
They did that to a lot of things.
They did it to almost every character. The only character that wasn't fucking assassinated was was Riker. And that was only because he showed up in, 3 episodes?
Yeah.
They really couldn't assassinate him.
No. No.
I think that was the best political move Jonathan Frakes could have pulled off, is going, no, I only want to be in like 2 or 3 episodes tops, champ. Because I had heard that Frakes had said, no, I only want to do a short role on Picard.
Mm.
And it looks like he was right for wanting that, because they really couldn't do anything. they had to just hand him the badass roles, which is
Mhm.
fits in with Riker's character.
Oh yeah, well that's Riker.
And if Frakes hadn't become a writer and a director and a screenwriter, sure, sure, Riker probably would have ended up like a Picard and fucking Kirk. But I think Frakes is better off as a screenwriter and shit because they would have eventually character assassinated him
Hmm.
in, in the movies because he wouldn't have been the writer. Sure. But because he was one of the fellow writers, they really can't character assassinate him too much.
I agree.
Because he's
Okay.
like, hey, you're making Riker look weak here.
Yep. So,
Now from what I've seen, he's one of the primary screenwriters for the fucking Orville, which is like,
yep,
okay,
he is.
he
Yeah,
did a bit like he got into a better place. It's like he doesn't need to be around.
yeah, he did it for nostalgia, but he didn't. He wasn't worried about doing it for.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
not.
not like he got an on-screen role; he just didn't care.
Yeah.
It's weird that we live in a world where fucking the guy that made Family Guy, uh, one of the most hardcore liberals you can come across, actually made a good version of Star Trek.
Well, I mean, Star Trek is a liberal program. I mean, it always has been, but still, it's a different situation.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that's why, Orville isn't afraid to make fun of itself.
No, that's the other thing about it. It
Yeah,
does a really good job
that's
at that.
what I like about Stargate. They weren't afraid to fucking make fun of the situations, and the characters weren't afraid to be fucking snarky. Because all of this, like everybody's like, "Oh, O'Neill's the snarker." It's like, no, they all drop it.
Yeah. At some point.
I mean, even Teal'c has his fucking moments
Oh yeah.
of going into the snark. he,
Oh yeah.
he, even though he's doing his best Vulcan warrior impression, he still drops his snark moments down. That's why that series is so damn good. But or at least the first two seasons I've been.
Yeah.
Like, you can see why Sci-Fi had this series on for years and years and years.
Yeah, until they got idiotic.
Yeah, until they got dumb with it. Until they got dumb and greedy. But that's what happens to every series eventually. They get dumb and greedy, or they just don't know what to do with it after a certain point. That's what happened with Star Trek. They didn't know what to do with it after Voyager ended. And Enterprise was them trying to figure out a new direction, and they pretty much looked at it and said, that direction really isn't working. What do we do now?
Well, the thing is it finally was started to get their direction, but they'd already decided to cancel it by then.
Yeah.
That
That
was
was
the biggest problem with it is they actually were getting good, and then
Yeah. I mean, they were already starting to lead into the Romulan Wars arc. I was like,
yeah,
what the fuck?
yeah,
How
that
could
was
you
good.
cancel this?
Yeah, and then yeah, so that was part of it. It's like you guys are morons. Why are you doing this now? When you had two, I mean, the first two seasons were and then that third season they were like, oh yeah, we could actually use our we could actually, watch them actually go through everything that we talked about in the other four series that we talk about in the past happened. Why don't we have them actually do that stuff? And then it became good.
Yeah, that was the, yeah, it was them trying to fucking redeem Archer as a competent captain, and that was never going to happen after the first two seasons
Yeah.
because Archer had already been proven multiple fucking times at multiple fucking intervals that he was utterly incompetent of being as being a captain. He didn't get better slowly. He just stayed stagnant and suddenly became a good captain. That's not how you do it.
Mm-hmm.
But there was no character progression. That's what's sad is that if they had simply just built him up slowly to
Well, they
become the
built
most
everybody else up. That was the other thing, is that they really, honestly, especially season 3, everybody they built, except him.
yeah.
And I like Bakula, don't get me wrong. I do like Scott Bakula, but man, they just.
Bakula was great. It's just the fact that they didn't do anything with his character.
Yeah.
Bakula, from what I understood, Bakula was constantly complaining that Archer didn't get anything.
Yeah.
For him.
Yep, he was. Hey, Renil Arroscato. How's it going? I see you now. Oh, Renil's watching. On YouTube. By my YouTube. Christine follows him, and I follow him too. But, yeah,
That was probably the worst writing decision that could have been made was to not give Archer more time. He's the fucking captain.
yeah.
You give him the most time. That's how every Star Trek series has done it before. That's how you do it in Enterprise. You give him the most time. You give him the most character development.
Yeah, and they didn't. They gave it to us. They gave it to us second in command.
Just because the character development arc of Janeway ultimately makes her seem like she's the anti-hero, if not the anti-villain by the end of the damn series, doesn't mean you abandon the character arc. That's just how some characters turn out. Like, there's a reason, like, there's a in-canon reason why Janeway was fucking put behind a desk. As far away from a starship as possible.
Yeah, don't be saying that to Ron.
I know.
he loves Janeway.
But that's the canon reason for why they put Janeway behind a desk was because her character development made her a terrible fucking captain, and that was consistent throughout the series. She made bad decisions. The character evolved, but the fact that she constantly made really poor decisions involving crew members or even the fate of certain races was really harped upon. It's like, and she didn't care about her bad decisions a lot. But that's just Janeway. Like Cisco. Cisco lived with every single decision he made. He understood them. He cared. He lived and died by that. And Picard is an captain, but he's an amazing diplomat. That was Picard's development. He goes from being an okay captain to being a really good captain by the end of the series. He's still a great diplomat, and then they fucking turn him into Old Man Rambo in the movies. And we don't get into that. And of course, then you got TOS fucking Kirk, who is the classic cowboy gunslinger in space. But he actually is a decently competent captain who only gets more competent and more intelligent and more wise as time goes by, and gets a really nice character arc.
Yeah.
If you don't read the fucking Shatner books.
Oh god, no. You don't want to ever read the Shatner books. Oh
Yeah,
my god, those books were. Oh my.
yeah.
All I
If
can
you
say.
don't read Shatner books, not Picard, Kirk's journey ends with him fucking saving yet another race of countless lives on a barren, on a half barren planet with Picard burying his body. It's like that's how Kirk would have wanted to go. You don't understand. That was Kirk in a nutshell. Well, the cowboy gunslinger in space to the very end, and so good that Starfleet really didn't want to promote him until they didn't have a choice.
This is the worst. Oh no, not Dark Astoria. Oh, you piece of junk. Why did you give me Dark Astoria? Oh my god. Really? Got 90 minutes to save the day, and they put me in the worst stupid. Okay, so I need to figure out what kind of characters these are. Right now, it's very bad situation. I want to go to Dark Astoria. Okay. Alright.
Eventually, one of these days, whether it's going to be through luck or actually buying it myself, I'll get Babylon 5 and actually watch through that.
Babylon 5's until the last season.
Because I've already
Until the last season, and actually the last season isn't bad either. It's just people were expecting more of the same, and it's like, guys, they kind of ended pretty much the entire flipping arc at the end of 4. Gonna be kind of hard to finish. They kind of have to backtrack and make a 5th season.
Yeah. Like, ugh. I've seen Farscape. I've seen
Now, I have not seen the entire series of Farscape. I will admit. I've seen a lot of Farscape. I saw a lot of Farscape, but I have not.
Yeah, I actually saw the entire full series of Farscape once upon a time. Would recommend. If I decide to keep
However, I can take the Farscape role-playing game and put it directly into Starfinder. We'll pick that up.
Well, man, what was I gonna say? Farscape. Oh yeah. I would recommend it because because it's on Amazon. Whenever I'm bored watching fucking SG1, which will be probably when O'Neill leaves, I'll probably switch over to watching Farscape. And then, when I'm done with Farscape, I'll go to watching DS9 upscaled to 1080p. PHD. Because that's what Amazon is saying. It's been upscaled. It's like, how did you fucking upscale that shit? It's not upscaled on it might actually be upscaled on other versions on more expensive plans on Netflix, but it's naturally encoded that way.
I gotta rescue 12 mages in an hour and a half. Give me a break. Give me.
What, major yawn or major pressure?
Well, I hate I hate the map that they put me on. It's like, could you put me in something a little bit more straightforward so I could actually, like, find these guys. No, you got to put me in the one where everybody hides in a freaking corner. Thank you so much. Stupid game. Do I have my buddy over here? Come on, buddy. Get over here. And I'm fighting the guys that kicked my butt because they can drain your endurance, which is, means you can't use any of your stupid powers if they hit you with it.
Oh, goodness. I forgot just how many good sci-fi shows or science fiction shows were on during the 90s. It's like, holy shit.
Oh yeah, there was a ton of them.
Like, everybody had their own little flagship show.
Oh yeah, there was the...
Hmm?
Oh, and then there was the bad ones, which actually weren't that bad either. The Space Above and Beyond and all those other ones out there.
I've never seen any of them. All I had ever seen up until when I actually saw DS9 was SG-1 Voyager, which was mostly through fucking reruns, and TNG, and of course TOS. Not a whole lot. Of course, reading Frank Herbert's Dune and watching the I think it was the '84 movie. Yeah.
The one with Sean Young and Kyle MacLachlan.
I think so.
The one that has Card has Patrick Stewart as Gurney Halleck.
Yes.
That is the 84. Yeah, that is the 84.
Because there's quite a few attempts at doing Frank Herbert's book.
Hold on. Hold on a second. Hold on a second.
What?
Okay. All right. Christine was trying to tell me something I couldn't hear. Yeah. I mean, the only problem with that one was the way to be honest with you, I thought they did a really good job with it. I know a lot of people didn't like it.
I liked it for what it was, but I came to the realization that you can't really tell Frank Herbert's Dune series and any of the Dune books that he actually wrote in one movie.
Right.
They have to be broken up. And Hollywood was just getting into that a few years ago. I'm like, this is the perfect time to remake Dune because you could actually make it.
There he is. The giant pain in the ass just hit me. God damn it, I hate that guy. Okay.
Because you can actually make them the way that you can read them out, because you can have the movie stop at certain big points in the story to hook the audience into watching the movie and watching the next movie. Because that's what they fucking did with the Hunger Games and shit like that. It's like, you can do that with the original Dune. You don't have to make it a mini series. Because then you're just gonna bog it down.
Mm-hmm.
You can't make it a mini series because it would get bogged down, and you can't make it one movie because then you're leaving a lot of the lore out.
Exactly. That was always the thing I had with it.
Yeah. Because I have seen a few of the Dune miniseries, and they always get bogged down. So, it's like you can't.
Well, yeah, they get bogged down because they just don't.
because they don't know what to do with what they've got. There's a lot of lore that they try to go into the miniseries, and it just doesn't work out
Right.
because they're trying to eat every berry. Where in just splitting it up into a few feature like films, you can do you can touch into most of that. You can tell I love Dune a lot.
Yeah, I liked it. I mean,
Well, it was the first book I read.
yeah, I'm getting irritated by this stupid thing right now. Why I hate this mission. I hate this zone. I hate this zone. I hate this fucking zone.
It was one of the first books I read in the last year I was in middle school. Was Frank Herbert's. I was like, wow, where has this book been? It's like I didn't understand it the first time I read it, but I liked it.
This thing is singing.
And then I read through it a second time with all the knowledge that Frank Herbert had written down about the war and what everything meant. I'm like, oh my god! Now I understand why I liked it. Because he meant the books to be read multiple times.
Right.
So what a lot of people don't understand about the books, he actually meant for them to be read multiple times. The reader's supposed to go into them the first time completely blind. You're
Right.
supposed to not understand the lore. You're not supposed to. It's supposed to be formed. And then you go in the second time with the mindset that's at the end of the book. With all the translations, with all the cultural meanings, with everything, and then you understand. He meant it for this night and day effect. And it really fucking worked. I don't think the movies could pull that off, but my god, it certainly worked for me when I was reading the damn books.
Yep.
I think I told you this years ago that the greatest sci-fi influences I've ever had on my life were Aliens, Dune, and fucking Star Trek. Because they are the greatest sci-fi implement
Yep.
that I've had on my life. And when I write things about sci-fi, I write them that way, where everything's always when I was writing things about the cluster, it's like it's always enclosed. There's no really open spaces. You don't like what you see in Star Trek. It's like that doesn't make sense. Weird. I was just having.
He just save.
Yeah.
Hi, Legaya's channel. How's it going? I'm sorry I'm paying attention to this and not looking over, seeing the chat there. So, I see ya.
Yeah, yeah. So all of my questions to this to the last session have been answered. We've got a time set up for me to do that one-on-one that you wanted to deal with.
Mm.
Is there anything else?
Nothing I can think of.
Yeah, if there's anything else, we'll think of it tomorrow. Um, because I'll be eating pretty soon, and then after I eat, I'll be getting off, off in terms of life stuff. I'll see you later.
Okay. Yep.
My shoulder is killing me today,
Alrighty.
or I'd be staying on longer. Luckily, I got my voicing back on Friday. My voice was all fucked up. I don't know if you guys could hear it or not, but it was basically gravel.
You sounded okay, but then again, part of it we really weren't involved because everybody was fighting and you were running.
Yeah. Well, like I told you on Friday, I couldn't do the little girl voice, and you know I can do that voice.
I know.
Do it because my voice was gravel.
Yeah, no, and I know that, and that's okay.
Yeah. Usually, I like to do voices for my characters and get into character a bit more. I just couldn't. It frustrated me. I was like, why? I think it was the change in weather, or it could have been me getting something in my throat, or it could have been my throat fucking recovering from all the mucus and crap going down of it. Who knows? Anyways, I'm gonna get off. You have a good night, and hopefully you enjoy whatever you've been eating on.
Alrighty.
'Cause I hear you eating on something.
Alrighty, we'll do.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Yeehaw, battle mech time. Please. Don't kill me. Oh, doesn't show me when last made that. Please. Irritating me. Please tell me he's through here. There he is, finally. Our mission was annoying. Oh, what the heck? It's hurting to. Well, why? Wow, I am outclassed. Well, definitely is. Wish I could be. 6 more.
Hey, Dave.
Hey, Ron. How's it
Going good. Technically, I'm at work,
going? Aha.
working from home.
Yeah. I know the routine.
And, yeah, so part one of phase one of clean my apartment has been completed. Oh, man.
unfortunately, unfortunately, I haven't been able to start ours because we're missing a piece.
Missing a piece of your apartment?
Well, Christine wants to change everything over. You know,
Over.
no, color-wise,
Uh,
we're missing something. It does, so we can't clean until we get that piece. Oh.
wait.
Welcome to
That,
life.
that doesn't make
Welcome to married life.
that doesn't make sense. You can still clean.
Nope. Nope. Everything would not be color coordinated then, so we must wait.
Okay. Insert text box. Change to that font and we make you that big. Little center, yeah. "16 more days and I turn 40 years old." City of Heroes still?
Of course. Ray's actually playing on. But he's not in chat, obviously.
Yeah.
I talked to Tobin.
About?
He didn't understand what I was doing with the. Of course, you remember, he's got everything mapped out on his character that that's ass and already curveball in game two in session 2. So
You know what? I literally was just acting like my character would
mm-hmm.
normally. But someone had to get the story started.
Yeah. Well, thank God for Ray. He's going to be able to. Ray is going to be my help for that, getting everything straightened away.
Well, I knew if I didn't come back and do anything, nothing would have happened, so.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Everybody needs to remember something. It's just a fundamental thing about any role-playing game. You're an adventurer. You need to approach it as that. Oh, I just want to go home. Is not a very good attitude for a game, period. I know it might be a great character motivation in a game that you're in a novel. Not for a game.
But like I said, I had a reason to, if I didn't leave, I will admit this. If I wouldn't have left there, I would have assumed the role as leader.
Mm-hmm. Well,
And
I think Ray still would have probably ended up,
yeah,
but it would have been a lot harder for you to avoid it. 'Cause, you know,
yeah. Because we know what happens with my other characters.
mm-hmm. Well, let's be honest. I mean, either you or Ray end up the lead.
Yeah.
So, there's no fault to everybody else. Mark is out of practice,
Yeah. He definitely is.
and we know technically he's got one character who oozes leadership in who he's mimicking, but you know he's just not confident enough to do it yet.
Yeah.
And I understand. And he's still not used to the group yet. He's slowly started warming up. The person who should be kind of a catalyst, standing around going,
You mean
sass.
Yeah, I was going to say.
And just because of the fact the character that he's using, basically caused his world's Armageddon and should be focused on, in my opinion, but it's his character, so I mean, but the focus should be, oh, maybe I shouldn't. Maybe we got to make sure that Armageddon doesn't happen here.
Yeah.
But of course, Sass is out of practice because it's been almost 2 years since we played last. When he had Rubbermaid. So.
Yeah, again, I have no fault. I have no fault with them for that.
No, I don't either. I just it got a little frustrating there, but then it's like, okay, well, maybe I can force the issue, and yeah, I did. And then you helped, and then Ray jumped in, and
Yeah.
then it was like, okay, now we're good. Ray has the ability to track down your character and has the ability to track down Tobin's character. That's going to be like.
Well, I understand Ray being able to track down my character and whatnot, and yeah, from my point of view, I understood your point of view where it was frustrating, and it's like I'm thinking in my head while playing. Come on, guys, somebody step up! Somebody step up!
Yeah.
This is not how my character is to be played. My character rarely teams up with anybody.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you get a bunch of loners. I mean, that is a disadvantage, but the point being that it still was an advantage that Ray's characters, thankfully, a good character for getting everybody together, and now, and because of the way Ray wrote his background, he made it easy for me to be able to get Tobin back into the.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see the dynamic between the NPCs that are involved. Because Ray has a couple NPCs in his background, and Tobin has, knowing Tobin and kind of shit done. The interaction between those characters will be, basically define how the group's going to work, I think. So I've got full control of that, thankfully, in that case. Minus, certain individual bitching.
My whole thing was, my whole idea of my character was basically just going to pretty much just bump into something happens and character just appears, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. And that's fine. And in the end, that's actually a good thing. I'm just saying, between Ray's character and Tobin's character,
Yeah.
they're also the source of where where the group could possibly get a base and get actual organization, etc. So that's why I'm like, okay, between the two, you now don't have just one option. You've got two options on that. And technically, you have three options if Mark wants to push it.
I just thought of something. Is my character going to be the Batman of the Justice League?
Your character is pretty freaking close to that now, yes, in one way. It's pretty close. What character do I want to... You know what? It's time. We're gonna force the issue.
What?
I'm gonna bring out my Lobby. Okay, so let's see. I want this character is going to be... Really need to, like... Damn, I really need to make a chart. Hold on a second. I should this way. Yeah. Pop that up. Pop that back up. Back to this.
Yeah, I got my laundry room and main entranceway all cleaned up. So now I just have the bathroom and shower and my living area.
How do I start a new one?
Clean.
New. Enter the name of my generator. And this is not where I want to put it. I want to at a table. How do I do that?
You've encountered your first day job location.
Yeah. Oh. Ever what? I've never used this program before, and I'm being...
What program? What program, Dave?
Inspiration Pad Pro.
Is that like a movie editor?
Okay.
What is it?
It is it's a programmer generator to create random tables.
Ah. That is interesting.
So start out with science. Mutation.
Oh, it's a Realmworks thing. Probably costs an arm and a leg.
No, it's free.
Okay.
Uh,
Usually, when you see Realmworks on it, it costs an arm and a leg.
yeah. Yeah, well, I bought Realmworks. So I've got more than enough invested in arm and a leg.
Your wife would be upset if you invested your first unborn child.
I did that a long time ago, so I don't need to worry about it. The it's not gonna work. I'm just gonna have to. Okay. Never mind. I'll deal with it later. Okay. Know what I want to do, but two areas are the same missions for everybody. Happens. Level up. Clue found. First there's a clue found. Do do do. Do da 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 do da da do da 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 do. Okay. So I got 10,000 stupid powers. Use my abilities. How in the world did I know that that character would exist?
What character?
There's a character here by the name of Lady Stark, and she is a mastermind with knights. Why does that not surprise me?
Hmm.
Hey, Sean. That's great to hear. That's great to hear. We had fast food, so not that I can complain, but fast food. We were busy trying out the drone that we bought and laughing how bad I fly as a pilot of said drone. So, ba doo ba doo. Ta-da! I got something to do because somebody has got a team. Ugh. There we go. Yes. And the fire user is fighting vampires and werewolves. Woohoo! It's 3 levels so far. Lay down the thing. Limit. Four. a little bit. Odd LZ here. Five levels. 6 levels. Could make me level 10 outside this. Out of this, I think I was 4 before I started. Hey, Leandrix TV, how's it going tonight? Jesus, I got another level. Wow, I'm doing well. All right. Going to die. Oh, everybody's breaking up. Shit. Uh, First time. Okay, guys. Well, that sucked. Done so well, and then everybody disappears. Yeah, I knew that was coming. I hate crazy snipers. Just point that. Uh, be right back. Just made it. level. Sucks is this bottom part. Oh, come on, quit it. Get every barrel on. Well, only excitement that was quick and easy. Lucky. That's what I wanted. I got caught. That was not present. Didn't like me.
Welcome aboard.
Hey, Alfred. Much coffee, girl? Thank you. Oh my god, we're getting a raid from on the Twitch side. Thank you very much for stopping by. Yep, I am been doing a little City of Heroes. Okay. Golden Storm, thank you, sir. Or ma'am, I don't know. I'm anymore. Who knows?
Welcome aboard.
Damaged Nation, thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of City of Heroes streaming
Welcome
here in the
aboard.
last couple weeks. So, we have been doing a lot of fun, having a lot of fun with it. Let's see. Pardon me. Let's see. Thank you much, Coffee Girl, and everybody. Please, thank you for stopping by. I am playing on Thunderspy. Those that, if you're wondering. Not Chan, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Damage Nation, man. I appreciate that. Definitely appreciate that. And I've been on Twitch for a long time, but I just haven't done anything as consistent as I have the past few weeks, and we all know why. But yeah, it's a lot of fun, guys. Thank you, Kelton Storm. Thank you. I do definitely appreciate it. Let's see. Do I want to switch out characters real quick? I'm 16 now on this one. Like I said, I am on Thunderspy. I do have a 50. I do have there's a Dominator, my 50. I've got a couple 23s, 25s. It does? Okay. Well, thanks for much, Coffee Girl. I'll have to take a look at it. Yeah, I don't know why. Sean, are you noticing that too? I know I've been having I've got a lot of skip frames. I've got to figure out what's going on with that. So I wonder if that's part of it. The mic is a little damaged though, so I wouldn't be surprised. Let's just say that. But yeah, I think I might. That's a good point, Alfred. Thank you. I am not sure where I have that. Okay. Maybe that's just too high there. A little adjustment there. Okay. All right. Well, let me. It was a little high though, so I did lower it down a little bit. But let me see. We'll work on that. Now I'm too low. Yeah, let's test. Okay. Yeah. I've got some things I got to work on yet on this. So thank you guys. I appreciate it. Okay, so what? Yeah, that was Phoenix Fish. She was 16. Sinbad's 24. It's out there. And I am getting some packet loss. Hey, thanks. Much coffee, girl. I appreciate it. Don't worry. Hey, Alfred, don't worry about it. The thing is like I said, I've been on Twitch for a long period of time, but I really haven't been able to sit down and get everything down exactly the way I want it. For here recently, I've been doing the streams with the City of Heroes, and then I've been doing some other things with YouTube, especially with my wife. And my wife actually kind of plays City of Heroes as well. We have done a couple joint streams together, so yeah. You know what? I love T-Spy. I really do. I really love T-Spy. Sorry, Kelvin. Like I said, I've got to work on my mic situation. Let me. Why it's being such a pain in the butt. So I will work on that. I apologize for tonight. And my headset is damaged, so I wouldn't be surprised if something was a part of that too. So. All right. So, are we doing anything? Or is there? Not seeing anything happening. Of course, I don't. I go into another character and everybody's gone. Yeah, it always happens. Always happens. Thank you guys, by the way, for coming by. I appreciate that. Let's do this intermission while I'm waiting. Only done this mission 10,000 times, but the way it works. Come on over here and do this. So anyways, for you guys that don't know me, so you just dropped in. I am a older gamer. I am married to a wonderful Filipina gal by the name of Christine. We were married back in. Chief came to the United States finally in June, end of June. We got married in August. So, and I work IT for a hospital for a job. So if you're okay, Keldon, thank you, man. I've got a buddy that's been doing streaming for a long time that I want to have take a look at what's going on and see why this is all happening. So I'm sure he'll straighten me out. He straightened me out one time before, so. Well, like I said, I work IT for a hospital. I can't talk about, what's going on, but I am front line. So, yeah, we probably all are. But the other thing that you guys need to know about me that you probably don't know is there used to be a tabletop game. Well, it still is out there. It's a tabletop game out there called by the name of Champions. Champions RPG. It was made by Hero Games. I think some of you may have heard of it, especially if you play. Yeah, I mean, you're playing City of Heroes. You might have heard of it, considering the other superhero game out there is actually based on is Champions. I wrote 2 books back in the 1990s for the tabletop game, so superhero stuff is in my blood, and I am pretty much every other Friday. It doesn't quite match up to that, but on about every Friday, I run a Champions tabletop game and stream it. So I'm very much into the Champions stuff. So but you notice I'm not playing on. You notice, thank you for the follow. You notice I'm not playing that game. I love City of Heroes. I've always loved City of Heroes. I am so glad it's back, and that's why I'm playing it. I've had a lot of good memories with this game, and when I found out it was back, I was right on it. Of course, I was with those other guys, and then found out about T-Spy. Moved over to T-Spy. Yep. The Champions has got a really huge background and all, and man, did they, no offense, but they missed the boat. There's so much they missed on Champions. It just, I mean, as a guy who wrote for it, the thing is that, like I said, I wrote 2 books for it. And actually I had a 3rd book in the pipeline, but then things went south on that. But, 3 books I had and I'm friends with the owner of the IP, the actual IP owner. I am friends with him, but it just didn't translate correctly. And then, of course, I didn't like the cell shader graphics, which I turned those off, but it's still, I wasn't ever into. Yeah, I did. I wrote Dark Champions Murderer's Row. I wrote a portion of Hero System Almanac 2. And then I had a 3rd book in the pipeline by the name called Assassin's Directory, but that book fell apart not because the book wasn't done. It was done. It was submitted. Um, but one of my co-writers got the ownership really, really mad at them, and it basically caused the book to get canceled. So, have I made stuff for AE? I did a long time ago, but it never got really to completion. My goal is to do that though. I want to sit down and do AE stuff. I just haven't. I mean, I haven't done it yet. It's just because I just haven't had time. There's just only so much I can do in a day. So I want to, like I said, I want to. I have, oh my gosh, how many scenarios in my head that I've worked on over the years. I would love to translate over, and it just, yeah, like I said, it hasn't worked out like I wanted it to. So just because of time. Yeah, and that's the thing. Well, part of the problem with me is that I'm gonna want, pardon me, unique characters, and because of that, running. Yeah, I could probably do a fifth column, one or council or something along those lines, or what whatever, substituting out. But there's still that part of me that says no. I want to do something from my you know 20, 30 years of riding that I would want to put in there. I would want to use my group that I had in Murderers Row, for example. I'd want to use that group and create the characters for that. There isn't an equivalent of that group in City of Heroes either, so that's why I would like to do that. The only bad thing about this character is he just doesn't have enough attacks yet. Okay, so then I'll have to change. Yeah, here we go. Ooh, look, we infiltrate the Hellions. Yes, we've done this enough times. We move the box finally. One thing I'm really excited about on T-Spy, besides the fact that you can make them change the outfits of the minions, which I've already started working on doing on some characters. Besides that, I would love to be. I am really liking this idea behind the community content. I have not gone on QA yet to check out what they've done with Warden or anything, but I am definitely. Am I not moving? I want to see how they built Warden as an example of what they've done. That's going to be a lot of fun when you can start doing player content, start doing start seeing outfits that are actually, you know, everybody can use. That's going to be big for me. The power sets. What I just called him. So, that's John Ross. I've met him a couple times at Gen Con. I have not. I wasn't as much big with him. Just because I did, I mean, I played D&D and all that stuff, but I just hadn't. He did a lot more stuff on that end of things, and now I have met numerous times Michael Stackpole. This is my wife, by the way. Yeah, they can. So, I have met Michael Stackpole a number of times. Of course, Stephen Long's a friend of mine. There were a bunch of people that jumped. They're called Raiders. They came over from another person on Twitch to watch me on Twitch. So, because I was playing City of Heroes. The Of course, like I said, I knew all the Hero Games people. I did write for the RPGA back when 3rd edition was out and they were doing the Greyhawk, Living Greyhawk stuff. I did write a number of things for that as well. Didn't get I live here I live in the Midwest. I live in Nebraska, and our region was Nebraska, Kansas, Iowa, and Missouri, which, you know, 4 big states right in the center of the country. So it was hard to travel to a lot of conventions. But I had but then from there I went and I did a lot of stuff for that, and then that all kind of fell apart when the RPGA kind of fell apart. So I started writing basically because of a buddy of mine by the name of Cliff Christensen, who wrote the Viper, who helped co-write the Viper book for Champions. And he wanted help writing a book, and basically he dragged me into on it, and I ended up rewriting everything that he did. No offense to Cliff, if Cliff ever hears this. Cliff is a really great idea guy, he can't put it down on paper. This is part of it. So I ended up writing all of the, pretty much rewriting all of his characters, writing all my characters, which is Murderer's Row, by the way. And my other friend that joined in, James Andrezek, I didn't have to rewrite his character. I didn't have to rewrite his backgrounds like I did with Cliff, but I had to rewrite his character. So I ended up, basically, my hand is on every character in that book, except for the 2 characters that Stephen Long put in so he could get writer credit on the book. So but out of 30 characters, I had to hand in 28 of them. So then, like I said, then I did the Hero System Almanac 2 book, and then I was part of the same group of us did the Assassin's Directory book, but Cliff had by that time had gotten people mad at him, so that didn't fall through. Unfortunately, I would have loved to have done that, and gotten that book out too. But I was also supposed to work with none other than Michael Stackpole on his books. He was going to be coming out with a fantasy series, and I was the one that they had slated to write the first source book for that fantasy series. And then two things happened. One, the fantasy series got massively delayed because Michael got this lovely little contract by this individual by the name of George Lucas, and basically had to put those books on the back burner. And then then unfortunately Hero Games Higher Crown Enterprises went under, so they had to declare bankruptcy. So everything went out the wayside on that. So I didn't get a chance to do that. So that would have been my huge break, but I didn't get that one. Didn't work out too well, but. So, yeah, sometimes that's the way things happen. So, okay. Where's all this off? Didn't think I dropped my toggles. Oh well. This is my electric tanker, by the way. This mission can get annoying. Oh, okay. That's cool. That's cool. He's a, like I say, I know of him and such, but I only met him a couple times at Gen Con. I didn't. Maybe it was Origins too. Anyways, after I did the champion stuff, I worked for. Just gonna keep beating on these guys. This is ridiculous. I did do the convention games for Shadowrun at Origins. I was doing the tournaments for FASA. And got to be good friends with guy who's currently the head of the Shadowrun missions. Basically, living. They don't call it a living campaign. But that's what it is. It's a living campaign. So I'm good friends with him. So. Unfortunately, because of work issues and such, I ended up having to move out to western Nebraska and so all my gaming since then has been online. I mean, it's either been, I wouldn't say, City of Heroes type of stuff, but I mean, Roll20 and I use a couple other, Fantasy Grounds and things like that for my tabletop stuff because nobody out here. So it's kind of hard to do that kind of thing. I'm trying to get my wife involved in that, but it's slow going yet. The life of a tanker, not being able to kill stuff fast enough so that you can actually just, kind of walk away. I'm not getting a lot of experience for doing this. So I don't know why I'm beating myself to death doing this, just being stubborn. Now they're doing ITF. It's too late for me to do ITF. Unfortunately, in a little bit, I will have to go because there's that whole, work thing. Yeah, Keldon, thank you, man. Although, I'll get my sound resolved. I don't know why Twitch wants to be annoying. But then again, I just said the magic words. Twitch annoying. Sometimes it can be annoying. I've been on Twitch since 2009. I was part of a group called there was one group that I was with that was called Main Event Network. did a lot of streaming. Then I was part of a group called Like Spike TV. Then I left them after they became known as Senshudo. And then the streaming kind of went down the toilet because I had such strange work hours. So. For 3 years, I worked for iHeart Radio. And I was the overnight guy. So when a radio station went off the air overnight, I was the guy they called. So, lots of fun with that. But now, like I said, I work I do IT at a hospital, and I'm done with it. I have fun with that. Did I call her yet? No. I will be on again tomorrow night. I've been trying to be consistent, so trying to be on. I do a few other games. Lego DC Supervillains I'm still working on. I do Star Wars The Old Republic every so often, and of course every so often I'll do on Fridays the tabletop game. The others, you'll also see Fire Pro Wrestling on this channel every so often. I haven't really done it here recently, but that is another thing I will be doing. So, all right. So, anyways, guys, I am going to have to get going because of work, and I apologize for that. And I want to check to see real quick something. For those of you on Twitch, going. I'm going. Wow. 21 viewers, guys. Wow. Thank you so much. But I am going to have to go. And I hate to do that. Really would have to go. However, I am going to switch you over to a bunch of some good friends of mine. Unless Tad's on. If Tad's on, I'll jump to there. Tad is not on. Yep, we're gonna go there. Okay, so I'm gonna set you guys up. Since you guys came over and raided me, I'm gonna raid you guys over to good buddies of mine here. If I can get that straight away. No. I hate. Okay. Go to this. This is what happens when I get fun stuff. Alright. Back up. We're going to New Legacy Inc., guys. Guys, you're going to enjoy these buddies of mine. They are awesome. They are awesome friends of mine. I've known them since 2009. And it's hilarious. So thank you guys for rating me. I will be back again tomorrow. And stop on by. Hey, I enjoy talking when I've got people that I can talk to.